everyone. This is Israel with another Shabbat class. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us this afternoon. We're glad to be here. Ready to go into the final phase of the Chariots series. We thank you all for being a part of that. The YouTube presence has been phenomenal. Everybody that's coming aboard, please feel free to join us at any time. I just want to lay some ground rules for the class. If anybody has any background noise, please put your phone on mute. If you're on a tablet, please put your phone on mute because that gives feedback. If you have children in the room and they're crying, we hear it all. Driving in the car, put your phone on mute. Put it on mute and use the chat line if you want to ask questions or whatever. We're glad to have everyone here. We look forward to you all coming. And if you're coughing or anything, move the phone away from your mouth and put the phone on mute. Now, for you all who are new, this is not a free-for-all class. We have a PowerPoint presentation that we're going through and going over, and we open the floor up for questions once we finish reading the slides. So if this is your first time, this is how we do that. If you want to see the PowerPoint presentation, we ask you to email us in advance, the Yehudah Project at gmail.com, and someone will email you the link to how to be able to see the screen. Okay, so we thank you for that. I think I've covered pretty much all of it, and we look forward. Like I said, we're getting ready to start our program, and I say shalom, shalom to everyone. Glad to have you here today. And this is we talked about the Chariots last week, which is very important because we have to put some things on the record because they're being seen more and more and more. And we have to make sure that we show the people from Yah's perspective what is going to happen. And the reason why I say that is because Christianity has spun a version that Jesus is going to come back and get the Christians and take them to heaven, and they're going to have a feast, and they're going to exchange crowns and gifts. And then while they're up there for the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, they're going to be doing that. And then after that party is over, they're going to gather themselves together, and they're going to come back with him to fight with him on the earth. And that is the second 3.5 years of the battle. And this is something that we have to put on record because that is not what the Scripture says. This is the version that we have been given our whole life, is that he's going to swoop us off the earth, take us back to the kingdom now. We're going to be able to see the old kingdom, sit in the old kingdom and exchange gifts and crowns, and then we're going to come back and we're going to fight with those other nations. So I have to put that on the record because that's something that they have taught us for years and years. And does anybody else agree with me on that? Have you all heard that before?
Yes.
That's the rapture.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
the rapture and the exchanging of gifts between the bride and the bridegroom. That is something that they taught for many years, and it's like, okay, and they had, so he's going to come and get us, go back, and then come back again, and he's going to destroy the earth. The Christians now, they're the ones he's coming to get. Does the Bible say that?
No.
No.
Man doctrine.
It's really not, it's just not there. That it doesn't matter whether or not you're Israelite or not because you are considered to be a Gentile because you are still scattered. And you're scattered all over the world, but if they tell you you're a Gentile, then you get to get caught up with them. Is that right?
No.
I got a question.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Brother Donia.
Well, my question is that where does it say that the Gentiles are scattered off? I mean, that black folks is Gentile and they're scattered all over the earth. Where does that say?
I am so glad you brought that up. Let me tell you. Because I'm going to get to my lesson in a few seconds, but I'm glad you brought that up because last week, or whenever we were talking about the brother Timothy in the New Testament being a Greek, I got an email from somebody. This young lady sent me this email about Timothy not being a Greek, that he was an Israelite, that we were scattered all over the world and known as Gentiles, and that there's a whole big teaching behind that, and the Gentiles were scattered, and this and that and other. Now, I started to respond, but I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it go. Because, excuse me, one moment. Because I don't want to get into a debate with anyone. That is not what we do. You know, one day I will go into that teaching, because even the Israelites believe that when Paul was sent in the New Testament to go to the Gentiles to preach, that he was sent to the lost Israelites that were scattered all over the earth, and that those are the original Gentiles that were supposed to be saved. Now, my question is this: if that's the case, I'm just asking you, if that's the case, and Timothy tells you in his book that it is okay to eat anything, all that Yah made was good, and it was meant to be received with thanksgiving, does that go against the dietary law?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it does. So you want to tell me that this brother that's an Israelite, because he's a Gentile, is going to convince the rest of the Israelites to eat anything? I'm just asking.
I have no idea. I'm curious. I just want to know how where that is written at, and how, or is that just taught as regular services? You understand, somewhere. I mean, I just don't get it. I'm not sure. I need that to be explained to me. But if this is not the class, I understand.
We'll get to it. I'm definitely not today, but we will definitely get to it. I said, okay, so maybe that is. Let me see. So Timothy is an Israelite. He's not a Gentile, and he's ministering to the Israelites that think they're Gentiles. So he's telling them to eat anything, that all meat that Yah made is good and meant to be received with thanksgiving and blessing. Does that make sense?
No, it don't. Not to me.
I just want to make sure. I just wanted to ask, because I wanted to make sure. Because I know they have a way to explain it away. It's just a few things, and one day we gonna get into it. It's we gonna get there, because one thing that Yah doesn't do is make a mistake. He knows exactly what he's doing, and when he sends somebody to a specific group, he knows exactly who those people are. So the fact of the matter is that now because if that's the case, and we were Gentiles, we thought we were Gentiles in the church, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right.
And we thought it all the way up to the point that we became conscious, didn't we?
Right.
I'm just saying. Okay, so let's get to the lesson. I'm going to cover it. We're going to deal with that one day, because there's a lot of things I want to address. Not that I'm a scholar or a perfect and everything. I just have questions, and, I wanted you guys to answer the questions for me, but we'll get to that. We're going to have one class for that, believe me. Okay, so here we go. This is the final part of the Chariot session. It's called the final invasion. And she said, the final invasion, what does that mean? That means that an invasion is an invasion. That Yah is coming to invade the earth. And why do you think he's coming to invade the earth? Somebody kind of tell me why they think it would be necessary for him to come and invade the earth.
You got to cleanse it.
You got to cleanse it. And cleanse it from who, Brother Leonard?
From the reprobates and the hybrids.
From the reprobates and the hybrids and the heathens and the Gentiles and everything. Coming to invade. So when you hear the word invasion, what do you think about? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Take over.
War. Somebody say war. The takeover. So if he's coming for war and he's coming to take over, then there has to be an opponent, doesn't it?
Right.
And somebody has to be doing something wrong on the earth for him to come and to take it over.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. When you talk about rapture and you talk about invasion, there's two totally different things. Two totally different things.
Well, I want to add to that. It says that in Jude, it says that he saw the Lord coming with 10,000 of his saints, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I think?
Oh, that's a good question.
In Daniel, it said the saints of the Most High going to take the kingdom. So the saints are the Israelites. But everybody assumed that the Lord coming in Jude with 10,000 angels. But it's the saints of the Most High. When you understand what's going on in Daniel, he said the saints of the Most High is going to take the kingdom. At the end of the fourth beast, he said the saints of the Most High is going to take the kingdom. And the Israelites are the saints.
All right. Well, I mean, we're going to definitely touch on that. That's something that you hold that thought, because I definitely want to touch that as well, because we have to understand what it means. So I'm going to move to my next script. Can you all see the screen?
Yes. Yes.
I love this picture because it's huge. I mean, it just looks like a craft that is beyond anybody's comprehension. It's covering the air, it's covering the space, and it's covering the sky, and man is nowhere near prepared for anything that Yah has that he's coming with. And even though the angels have come and the angels have created and taught technology to the point, and I believe that that's why they are now coming out with all of this. We've been studying spacecrafts all this time, is because they have had this stuff in their possession for years and years, and they've been studying the technology, and hiring companies to be able to test the technology and put the technology to work. And now that they have it, they feel like, okay, now we can tell the people that they're out there, because people are seeing too much. But there's nobody like the Most High Yah. Nobody. So as we go through these sessions, I want to read and I want to open up the floor for you guys to share. It's not a lot, but it's a lot, when it comes to the conception of it all. So it says, okay, Amos chapter 5. And then we're in the scriptures. For you all who cannot see the screen, these are scripture-based. So we will call the chapter, the book, the chapter and verses, so that you can follow with us in the scripture, because the PowerPoint presentations are just the scriptures put on PowerPoint. We might have a few pictures of some things, but it's just basically the scriptures on PowerPoint so that the people can see. It says, Amos chapter 5, verse 18 through 20, the day of the Most High. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Most High. To what end is it for you? The day of the Most High is darkness and not light. And you know how a lot of people be like, I can't wait till the Lord come and get me. My boss say that all the time. I can't wait till the Lord come and get me. He could take me right now. And I just be looking. You guys have no clue what's about to happen. That's right. Because they have taught that this is going to be a wonderful time for you, and everything is going to be lovely, and you're going to go to the kingdom, and you're going to just eat blueberries and purple candies all day because you made it.
Sister Yair.
Yes, sir.
I've heard some people on this line right here say that they can't wait. You understand?
You know what? It is a day to be reckoned with. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We all say we can't wait till we leave, but for the Most High to come back, He says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Most High. To what end is it for you? And this is when, to me, this is a call to do some inventory, some self-inventory. Because a lot of us feel like we're ready, but we're not, because let something come up that you thought was buried and you haven't never dealt with, and just see where your character is.
Yeah, since I've seen this particular passage or script right here, I've stopped saying that, because you understand, it talks about the darkness not being light. And that darkness is going to be a hell of a day. It's going to be a hell of a time. It's going to be some destruction going on. It's not going to be a sweet thing. It's not going to be a bed of roses.
Oh, sir. It's going to be a very interesting time for everybody because it's going to be a very frightful thing. I mean, imagine what you're going to feel like, because Sister Levere said it to me all the time, what we going to do when one of them ships show up. It's just a regular ship that ain't yours. Everybody who has ever seen one has said, at that moment, my reality changed. You know, in other words, the scale was removed off my eyes, and I realized that what they've been showing me all this time just ain't been real. Imagine when that becomes a reality for you, but when y'all come, I don't think nobody's ready for that. And Israel is good for that. They're good for this confidence. And I'm talking about Israel now because Israel has this confidence that because we Israel, that things are just going to work out for us. That's not true.
That's right. No, they got it in the bag. They make it sound like they got it all. You know what I'm saying? They got it.
And it's like that is really not true. This is a serious time because he is not coming to play with us. And guess what? Judgment starts with us first.
That's right.
You know? All right, verse 19, he said, a terrible day, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into a house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. So it's going to be like, man, this is crucial. You know, you can't win for losing. You know? You can't win for losing. You're going to run in one direction and run up against something that you wasn't ready to see in the other direction. Or you're going to run into a building and think you're safe, and someone's going to be in that building ready to tear up some stuff.
Well,
let's go ahead.
Let's analyze this here. That, you know, if we turn from our wicked ways, you understand, and return and repent, the Almighty said that He will forgive our sins. So those that do not return back to the Almighty, they might catch a bunch of hell. All we're going to see, from my perspective only, you understand, is when it says that your heart's going to faint for what your eyes going to see. Those are the people that are going to be able to see these things happen to everybody else, because the Almighty said that Jacob shall be saved out of it. So it got to be some people that going to be saved out of this. Hallelujah.
I agree. Go ahead.
But he also said that we gonna have to watch the destruction of this nation.
That's what I just said. I said that our eyes are gonna faint for what our hearts are gonna faint for what our eyes gonna see. So we have to be. Somebody has to be here to be able to see what's going down. And it also says that when we go back into our land, you understand, we're gonna be ashamed of the things that we did.
Yeah, that's true. I'm ashamed now. I wish I could change some of that stuff, but I can't. I wish I could go back and change some of the things, but I can't do it. All I can do is repent. That's all I can do. And hope that I'm over it to the point where I don't do it again. And I say hope. Because one thing that I learned about this flesh want to do what it want to do.
Hallelujah.
It do.
Ain't that what the Most High did in Egypt? The Israelites watched what happened in Egypt. And
Absolutely.
Then he took them out into the wilderness and dealt with them.
That is correct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, here watch. Verse 20. Shall not the day of the Most High be darkness and not light? Even very dark and no brightness in it. So it's going to be like the sky going to just all of a sudden turn dark, and you know it's some. Have you ever been in a situation where a storm was coming and you knew it was going to be a bad storm because all of a sudden it got dark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a couple years ago, about 3 years ago, I was sitting in my job. I was at a whole nother job, and I was sitting in the job, and we was high enough where when we looked to the left, we could see out the window. And it was about 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you know the sky went pitch black? Pitch black. I mean, dark. And everybody was like, look at that. Look how. It was so bad they even said something about it on the news. Everybody was like, it went pitch black like it was nighttime. Like it was about 12 midnight. It got everybody's attention. We was like, what in the world? What in the world is going on? So, you know what I'm saying? This is going to be one of them, this is going to be a day like that, where it's just going to all of a sudden sneak up on people and people ain't going to know what to do. And guess what? The beast going to still be here. The false prophet going to be on the scene. The aliens or whatever you want to call them, the gods from the other world going to be on the scene. And they know when he comes, it's not going to be nothing like anything that we have ever imagined before.
Of course.
It's going to be critical. So he said, don't wish for that day. In other words, while you still have a chance, get yourself together.
Absolutely.
You know, don't have no confidence in yourself to think that you got this thing on lockdown, because you don't. Just because you're an Israelite, you don't. Because see, one thing I've learned about us as a people, we love cultural things. As long as we can dress up and look the part and speak the language and be separate and apart from everybody, we think that that's it. That's not it. That's a part of it, but that's not it. We got to make sure we clean stuff up. That's why when I run into anybody from my past, I'm apologizing. Like, look, I am so sorry for the things that I have done. Please forgive me. I was immature. I did not. Just please forgive me for this. I'm so sorry. I do not want anybody to be able to step up and say, she was in my presence and she didn't apologize. All I can do is apologize. I learned, I know, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I don't hesitate to do that, because you may not get but one opportunity. And when they come into your presence, you know what you've done. The Most High going to bring it back to your remembrance. And it's usually pride that keeps us from doing this.
Wait, stuff from when you was a kid count?
Whatever. I don't want that. Look, I'm cleaning it all up. It don't make whatever it is.
At what point you cut it off? You know what I'm saying? You talk about adult stuff or kids stuff.
If you bring them in my presence, I'm apologizing. I am so sorry.
Well, you know, when you go down that memory lane and you think about all the little stupid stuff that you did, you understand what I'm saying? Whatever comes to mind, whether it's and I think about those things that I've done in the past when I was a child. You understand what I'm saying? To other people's. You understand? You understand? I have to. I mean, I've never apologized to them. You understand? Because I don't see them anymore. You understand? But it breaks my heart in two for the stupid stuff that I did. Woo. You understand?
That's what I'm saying. So if the Most High brings them in your presence, and you know what you've done, you need to apologize.
Absolutely.
I mean, just to get it up off you, because it ain't nothing but pride. He said, apologize, ask for forgiveness.
That is correct.
Because guess what? I don't want nothing standing in my way. I want to be able to hear and see and move at the time that he tells us to. I don't have no isms and schisms against none of Israel. I love the people of Israel. You know, I'm doing what he's told us to do, and we're moving in a certain direction, but I don't have no isms and schisms, but I'm apologizing the first chance I get. And you can't say nothing else after that. What can you say? Hey, I asked you to forgive me. I made a mistake. I'm sorry, whatever it is. No, if it's wrong, apologize. You know, even to your mate. If you got issues with your, apologize. You know, and there's so many people waking up, and because their mates are not conscious, they want to leave. And it's like, no, you got to show mercy. Just like the Most High showed you some mercy, you got to show them some mercy.
I agree.
Because you got to see love at the end of this tunnel. You got to see some love. They got to see a change. Like, yes, she changed, but she ain't the same person that she used to be. I've seen, the outside is changed, and she don't do certain things and don't eat certain things, but there's a difference I can see in her or him, and I can see the difference. But just to walk off and leave your children and your wife, how is that the love of God?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
The little kids they fatherless now or motherless now because you felt like you done something that was against Yah's law. We done did a lot of things against his law in this captivity, and he knows that. And he will straighten that out. You give them a chance to wake up too. They don't just because they don't see right now don't mean they won't see. So he said, don't wait for this day. So while this day is still not here, take the time out and apologize. All right, the chariots. We got to get to the chariots now because they're coming. We're in the book of Nahum, chapter 2. In the book of Nahum, chapter 2, and we're going to do with verse 3 and 4. It says, verse 3, the shield of his mighty men is made red. The valiant men are in scarlet. The chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir tree shall be terribly shaken. And Sister Malcolm was telling us about how big a fir tree is. It's going to be a day. He said, the chariots shall rage in the street. They shall juggle one against another in the bridle. Bunch of chariots coming, and they just coming from everywhere. Now imagine, we already got some here. Some done showed up. We watch them all the time on YouTube where they showing out in the air. They going up and they coming down. They presenting themselves, and then they disappear like a mist. I mean, they really playing with people now because people are seeing all kinds of things jump off right now at this point. But imagine Yah's chariots coming, and there's so many of them. They just coming from everywhere to do battle. It said the chariots shall rage in the streets. The chariots shall be with flaming torches in the day of his preparation. So the wind going to be blowing, fire coming out of them, and they just all in the streets everywhere. And they shall be seen like torches, and they shall run like the lightning. That's going to be a pretty serious day. And it's coming, because he said it was. All right, Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15 through 18. He said, verse 15, he said, for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots, like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So guess what? They're not coming from our dimension. They coming from a whole nother dimension. His chariot. So this little stuff we seeing in the sky, this ain't got nothing to do with this right here. Now, not to say that some of ours are not up there, because they are. Because we got them in the air and we got them on the ground. We got boots on the ground. And we got them in the air.
How do you know who's who? That's what I don't know, at least.
I did not know she was going to ask me that. I'm going to tell you how weird this is, because I knew you was going to ask me that before we had class. And I knew it was going to be you. I said, that sister going to ask me this question. And I wish I knew. But right now, I think the way that we're going to know is how they're going to come. You know, when they come, you're going to know the difference between his and theirs. Because there's so many different shapes. You have some that are shaped like a circle. You have some that are shaped like a cylinder, like a cigar type thing. And the same thing with ours, we have the same thing.
I would think, just me thinking again, you understand that if the Almighty gives you the understanding that you are being, let me say this, you understand, we have to have a feeling that the Almighty, because after you have repented and are repenting, you understand, you got to have some kind of feeling that the Almighty has chosen you in some form. And if you can feel that, because I have that feeling right now, because all my life the Almighty has looked out for me. You understand? Even in my stupidity, you understand? He has saved me from a lot of stuff. You understand? And I would think that I would be able to. He would give me the vision to be able to see what is before me, so that I could step out of the way, or so that he would make it so that I'm untouched, because all my life he's been looking out for me. I would not be in this position right here if it don't be for the Most High. That's just my opinion.
Brother Donnie, I agree. I felt the same way all my life. Yes, hallelujah. That it was something different about you. Not saying that we better than anybody, but that we should have been gone a long time ago.
I agree.
You know, and that there's somebody here, and is that the call of the elect? You know, you ask yourself, is that the call of the elect? Because it's something that we have to do right now in this time, because he brought us together. There's a reason why. Nothing happens by chance. He's brought us together, and I had a brother email me the other day, said the same thing. He said, I've been out here by myself, you know, I heard the call of the elect, and I was by myself, and then I found y'all, and it's like, woo, finally, you know what I'm saying? He's bringing it together for a reason, because we have something that we have to do, and you couldn't have died if you wanted to. Hallelujah.
Don't you think that I tried. I done been in them shootouts.
Brother Donnie, me too. Guess what? I done been so high, I laid down on the bed, I remember it said, please, I felt myself leaving my body. And now, guess what? And let me put this on the record. I ain't never done nothing. I ain't never done no crack or no stuff like that. But just high, like, Lord have mercy, if you just let me come back to myself, I promise I won't do it again. And we all make those declarations. And I'm sitting here today, brain still intact. Yeah. Shouldn't have been here. Like I told him, don't put me on no pedestal, because y'all done it. And all the stuff I didn't do, I didn't want to do, but I did the things I wanted to do. You know, and I praise y'all that I'm changed today. But look, I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. The stuff I didn't do, I didn't want to do. But it wasn't nobody stopping me from doing it. And just reckless. You know, when you're a young person, you just reckless, and you think it ain't going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Until you just don't wake up one day. You know, just foolish stuff. That's why I tell the young people all the time, pay attention to your life. Don't live your life to the point where you think tomorrow is coming, because it ain't promised.
And one other thing here too is that you don't have to do evil and be a part saved. You don't have to do wicked stuff. You understand what I'm saying? If you recognize that you're a child of God, you understand what I'm saying? Then that should be enough. You don't have to do all of those reckless things. Hallelujah.
We all done had our day to the point where we done all done something. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like, Lord, if you just get me out of this, I won't never do this again. And you know, he did. He delivered. You know, we just got to learn. Even the company that we keep, some of the stuff you just got to be like, no, I ain't doing that, and I ain't going. So we just ain't, nope, I ain't going to be able to do it. I ain't going. Now that I'm older, I know I don't have to be there. Like Brother Leonard said, you ain't got to go. Ain't nothing making you go to the club. You can stay home. It's not. If something is driving you to go there, you need to figure out what force that is that's compelling you to be in certain arenas, because you don't have to go. Those are choices that we have to make. That's right. You know? Oh. Brother Donnie asked me, was I thug? And I said, well, I've had my day. I really have. I ain't going to lie. You know, it's just a lot. You just have no idea. I thank God every day. that I'm still here and ain't in jail somewhere. All right, verse 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Most High plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Most High shall be many.
You know what's so ironic about this? He said, by fire and by the sword, I will plead with all flesh. What do you need a sword for?
He gonna use it. He's bringing it because he's planning on using it.
Is he saying that if you say the wrong thing?
It's true. Brother Donnie, I did time up. When this comes, it ain't no more time left. That's why I tell everybody, do your thing. We're not getting ready to sit down and bash you for what you're doing. You know it's wrong. I don't have to tell you certain things is wrong because there's a mechanism that's built inside of us to let us know it's wrong. No matter how many laws they pass or the things that they say is okay or what you're doing on the side or whatever you're doing with whoever, you know it's wrong.
It's called conscience. With knowledge.
You do that. You better say that again, Sister Tabara. It's conscious. It'll let you know, no, you ain't supposed to be, you know you ain't supposed to be doing this.
And the Ruach will let you know, too.
You know you ain't supposed to be doing it. What you say?
I said the Ruach will let you know, too.
Yeah.
You know when you're doing wrong.
You know it. You know it. You can say and you can justify it any kind of way you want to. But when this day comes, game over. He coming.
I was with a couple of guys, man, when I was a young guy, and they was going to rob a bank. And they said, we're going to meet over here tomorrow morning, over here, blah, 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 yeah. Then we go over the plans. The Almighty sent me another direction. They went and had a shootout with police. They killed one of the police. Now they in jail. I said to myself, but the Almighty had me go another direction. You understand? And, I mean, this is how foolish that I was. I said, yeah, I'm going to meet y'all over there.
I said, but look, like, you know
what what you mean going another direction? You got lost on the way.
I went somewhere. I don't remember exactly where I went.
Okay.
You understand? But he had me do something else. Matter of fact, I didn't come back for a week. I was doing something else at the time of the bank robbery. You understand? And they went through with the bank robbery. But after that, a friend of mine told me, he said, you wouldn't have been nothing but the fall guy, no way, because these were two brothers, you understand, that I was hanging out with. You understand?
They were going to use you to fall guy. And see, that's what I like about this class, because everybody is transparent. It is what it is, and we ain't trying to act like we was floating on. It wasn't that way. It just wasn't.
Right.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it just wasn't that way. And we have testimony to say that we here today because of the grace and the mercy of the Most High Yah. Certain things we just didn't do.
Hallelujah.
We could have. Now, we could have. It wasn't nothing stopping us, but it was the power of Yah that kept us from doing certain things.
I would like to think that the Almighty has already ordained our existence. You understand? He's already seen something in you that he spared your life all these years. Or my life, for sure. You understand? Because he's seen something in you. You understand? I don't know what it is, and I stopped trying. I'm not trying to figure out the Almighty anymore.
I feel you. Sister Tabara?
Yeah, I was going to say, Paul Mooney was on one of those radio stations, and I was listening to him. He had made a statement. He said, black folks, they need to be just elated just by being here. He said, because that other nation definitely have plans to get rid of all of us. He said, he in his life, he said, I still can't figure out why there's any of us left.
That's true.
That's right. And so it's a blessing, just to be alive. Because if they had their way, believe me,
we'd have been gone.
We wouldn't be here.
No, right. Yah said he was not going to suffer to make an end of us, and can't nobody make an end of us. Now, we might be a nuisance to a lot of people because of the way that we act, but we have to.
No, we're their burden. We are their burden. When they're born, they white, and they go up, the black people, they just inherited that burden.
Yeah.
Especially here in America. Because everybody pointing, you made a slave. You know what you did. You raped, you killed, and our brother Dion said, I love it the way you say it. He goes right down the line in one breath. Sweep it clean. Rape, kill, murder, mean, all that stuff. They did all that. But they're born because they're white. They're born with that burden, that black burden. And we're it.
I never thought about it that way. Well, how about that?
Yeah, but it is what it is. I mean, we're under a curse, and we did what we did, and we are where we are because of what we did, and yes, there's no need for us because it's nothing else we can do. We've already built what exists today. They've already received the wealth of what was built today, and there's not. The only thing left, like Brother Leonard said, we at the end of this thing. Now watch. Right. He said hiding. Yeah. This is sanctified. This is still Isaiah chapter 66, verse 17. That they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
So when he comes, it's like we said with Brother Timothy. Brother Timothy told him all the meat that y'all made is good and is meant to be received with thanksgiving. And if you bless it, you're going to be all right. But guess what? This does not say that.
That is correct.
It says in that day, when the Most High come with his chariots, if you eat bacon, ham, pork chops, pork roast, anything, and the abomination, and the mouse, you're going to be killed.
Shrimps.
Shrimps. Anything that goes against the dietary law, you are going to be killed.
Okay. And I can see that happening, man, because we cannot live amongst no heathenistic people. We cannot. How are we going to be clean? How are we going to be holy unto the Almighty when we living with them other folks? We so gullible, we'd be over there at the table too.
Yeah. Absolutely. You do. There's nothing else to be said. So justify what you're doing in the book of Timothy. Justify it all day long. But at the end of the day, if you're doing these things, you're going to be done away with.
Yep.
That's Isaiah chapter 66, where we were, and that is verses, let me go back because I want to, 15 through 18. And 18 says, for I know their works and their thoughts, it shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. He ain't play. He is not getting ready to play. Next one, Amos chapter 9, verse 8, one scripture. It says, behold, the eyes of the Most High Yah are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yah.
Here it is. The kingdom.
The sinful kingdom. He said, I'm going to destroy it from off the face of the earth. And that's what he did. Remember when we went to Egypt? Some of them people cut up so bad, he cut off their lineage. Especially when the ground opened up and swallowed them in. He swallowed up the whole family. Wasn't nobody left. This is not getting ready to be anything to play with. This is what's coming. Watch, Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 16. He said, I trembled. He said, when I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice, and rottenness entered into my bones. And I trembled in myself that I might rest in the day of trouble. So it ain't going to be no situation where you're just going to be like, oh, y'all's here. No. The brother said he trembled. He was shaking within himself like, oh, shoot, this is something different than anything I have ever imagined.
Yep.
Watch. He said, when he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. There go the invasion. When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops. That's Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be an invasion. Of a different kind. Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1 through 4. And he said, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. There go another depiction of his sister Tabara. This was the other sister. This is shaped in the form of a cylinder. He said it was a flying roll. He said, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, and the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. It was 30 feet long. He said, then saith he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the whole face over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that sealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. Everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And I will bring it forth, saith the Most High of Hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones there. He said it's going to enter into the house, and it's just going to start tearing it down from the inside. Everything just going to disappear. As birds flying, so do you all see that what he's talking about, whatever this is, it's going to enter into their house and start eating it up from the inside.
I think I've seen a movie like that where some type of force just started taking everything.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Just gone. Isaiah chapter 31, verse 5 and 7. Here we go with Jerusalem. He said, as birds flying, so will the Most High of Hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Now, that's a beautiful picture of Jerusalem. It is absolutely, Israel, whatever, but that is absolutely gorgeous. Huge. And it's really not that big. And it's real modern today. Watch what he said. Now, this is the area where Brother Leonard is talking about that's completely desolate. Watch what he said. He said, turn ye unto him from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted. For in that day every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your own hands have made unto you for a sin. It may be over with. So we know it's going to be an invasion of a different kind. It's going to be a day that nobody wants to ever think about that's coming. And you know what? They teaching everybody that they going to get raptured away and they not going to have to deal with none of this. Everybody's going to pay for what they've done. Everybody. And like I always say, if he did this to his own people, we We sitting in these lands. You know, you have to really think about the fact that we sitting in these lands. And like we said yesterday, the day before yesterday, at the Tower of Babel, he created 70 nations and gave the 70 nations the 70 languages. And we are in all of those nations today speaking those languages.
Yep.
Sure. That's just unbelievable to think about. We have been scattered in those nations and birthed in those nations, opening up our eyes, speaking the languages of the nations that went against Yah and tried to do damage to Yah through Nimrod with the Tower of Babel, and now we're there. That's why he said you're going to be made to serve other gods. You want to be with them? I'm going to let you have the hook, line, and sinker.
Okay.
You're going to see what it feels like. And then to come into this knowledge and know we are the Israelites, and we're away from our land, we're away from our culture, we are away from our government, we are away from our language, and most of all, we are away from our God to the point that we had him. And when you realize that, you just feel so isolated.
Yeah. And not only that, but also, you have people stealing your identity.
That's
my question is, and my question is this. Now, we have these immigrants coming over here from Africa, the Hamites, okay? And they're doing the same thing. They go, they say, they do, when they count what the blacks do over here in America, they include them.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And they eating it up. Welfare, that Section 8, they're getting all of it. The best schools, they're getting all of it. Even they have this little charter school called KIPP. It's full. I'm telling you, this program is an excellent program. This charter school. But who's in it?
You know what? I know how you feel.
My daughter was complaining because she couldn't put my grandbaby in there. She said, Mom, I can't even get, wow.
Yeah.
And then they say, okay, well, it's still, our identity is still being compromised.
Wow. Well, I look at it like this, Sister Tabara, and we only have 20 months left.
Praise Yah.
All the things that you just described are the things that we have adopted in this captivity. It is. It is. All those things are the things that we have adopted in this captivity. And yes, it is. We got people in our land that's professing to be us. But I thought about this today. I said all of that is the power of the Most High God. All of that, everybody is in their prospective places doing what he wants them to do. Right now, at this moment. And if you can see it from the viewpoint that I see it, I'm like, man, this is a big play. Everybody has a part to play. Everybody is casting their parts. And when he's ready, he's going to rearrange the cast.
Right.
From the UN to Israel, to all the nations, everybody is playing a role according to Yah's agenda. They're not doing their own thing. Everything they're doing is playing into his agenda. Because when he restores us back and he brings us back, all of that, like I tell everybody, that doesn't matter anymore because all the things that we have acquired here, if you've got an education, I think it's beautiful that you've made life better for yourselves in the land where we're in, is be as comfortable as you can. Because there's some people on this line that's very wealthy. Enjoy the moment. Because when we leave, all that's going to change. Not just we all going to be wealthy when we leave. So, you have to understand those things and put it in perspective. And, it brings you to jealousy. You get upset about it because every time I want to watch television or watch a religious program, I have to always watch other people cast in our place.
Yeah, that's another headache.
It's like, or watch a YouTube clip about Jerusalem. I have to watch those people dancing around, bobbing and stuff, and it's like, But I have to always remember that we did this. We did this. Because we had it all. When I tell you we had it all, how they could have taken him for granted like that, I do not know. But we had it all, and we messed up. Can't blame nobody else but us. Thank God he didn't let it stop there, that he has mercy on us enough to bring us back. Watch. Haggai, chapter 2. I hope you guys is writing this down, or you could be able to listen to the YouTube clip, 22 and 23. Watch, he says, and I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms, and I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen. Yeah. He's getting ready to shake this thing up. They've been on top a long time. And he's not going to shake. I'm going to overthrow the throne. Ain't going to be no more kings and queens and nothing. And if they do, they're going to come up under my authority. Ain't going to be none of that no more. Watch. I'll be serious. And I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses and their riders shall come down, everyone by the sword of his brother. And in that day, saith the Most High host, will I take thee, O Zerubbabel, my servant, the son of Shealtiel, saith the Most High, and will make thee a signet, for I have chosen thee, saith the Most High of hosts.
I don't understand that.
Somebody said, I don't understand that. Brother Leonard, can you explain that to him? Zerubbabel coming back. Is Leonard still with us?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, he's going to get Zerubbabel and he's going to get Joshua.
And they're going to be there as a sign for us, and they're going to be the ones to help us get to this point where we need to get. You know, David coming back. That's why when this lady was telling me my grandmother passed, I said she'll be back. Y'all got to come back. I don't believe that y'all is going to allow. Now, I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. I don't believe that y'all will allow the Israelites to die and not know who they are, and that they will be allowed to come back. But I know Zerubbabel will be back. David will be back. Daniel will be back, and Elijah will definitely be back. Yeah. I know they will, because they have a part to play in this end-time prophecy. And somebody will be like, I don't believe that. Ain't nobody coming back. You don't know the word. Because guess what? Quiet as kept, and him too. And quiet as it's kept, we all done came back. Is there anything new under the sun? No, ain't nothing new. You not new either. There's no new thing under the sun. But that's a whole nother lesson. There's Jerusalem again. All right, now here we go. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 1 through 9. Here we go again. He said, behold, the day of the Most High cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. He said, I'm getting ready to take all your money to watch. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. The city shall be taken, the houses raffled, and the women ravished. What does that mean, ravished? Raped. And be raped. Jerusalem. And aren't you glad you're not there? I mean, for real. Huh? Everybody gets mad because we ain't in Jerusalem. You don't want to be there. Watch. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Most High go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof. It's going to split in half, like the sister said. Watch. Toward the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley. And half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. He said, and ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. And ye, yea, shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, the king of Yehudah. And the Most High, my Elohim, shall come, and all the saints with him. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark. But it shall be one day which shall be known to the Most High, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. There'll be no darkness that day. Everybody gonna see. Watch. And it shall be in that day that living water shall go forth from Jerusalem. He's going to clean Jerusalem out. Don't worry, watch. Half of them toward the former sea, and half of them toward the hinder sea. In summer and winter shall it be. And the Most High shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Elohim, and his name one. All right, here we go. Any questions about that? So he's going to bring the nations up against Jerusalem and let them go in and do what they need to do, and then he's going to turn around and fight against the nations. And put them against each other, which is what he usually does. Joel chapter 3, verse 1 through 17. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time will I bring again the captivity of Yehudah and Jerusalem. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people. And some of them ain't going to want to let the people go. He's like, you're going to give up my people. Watch. That's the valley of Jehoshaphat right there. That's the valley. It says, and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot. So they was pimping out the boys and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. That's the slave trade. That right there, that right there, and that scripture right there identifies the slave trade, among others. Ye, and what have ye, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. So we know all the Palestine, the Palestinians, all of them going to be included. Watch what he said. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold and have carried it into your temples, my goodly, pleasant things. He said, the children also of Yehudah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will raise them out of the places whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Yehudah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Most High have spoken. And who are the Sabians? Brother Donnie, are you going to say this out? Say again?
They're not the Turks, are they? Are they the Turks? Are they Arabs? One or two?
The Arabs. Well, that's what Brother Donnie, I say they the Arabs, but we'll see. Somebody Google, who are the Sabians? All right, watch. Watch what he said in verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Uh-oh. So who he coming to have war against? Gentiles. The Gentiles. He said, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, and let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. I thought the Gentiles was going to heaven.
Yeah.
What happened to that part? So they going to skip this too? Okay, let's see. He said, beat your plowshares in the sword and your pruning hooks in the spears, and let the weak say, I'm strong. He said, bring it. Bring it. Y'all can see him not bring all you got. Bring it. Watch what he says. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathens, and gather yourselves together round about.
They're the Arabs.
They're the Arabs. They're the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yah. He said, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. You think they ain't getting ready to get paid back? Everybody's trying to make an escape plan. They trying to go to Mars and everywhere. It ain't going to make no difference. That's all you hear what I'm talking about. It's how Mars got the same sustainability that Earth has. And it's a possibility that we can live. It is not going to matter. Why? But there will I sit to judge all the heathens round about. He said, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come and get you down. For the press is full, the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. He said, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Most High is near in the valley of decision. So all this going to happen in this day. He said, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Most High also shall roar out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem. The heavens and the earth shall shake. Howdy, put that phone on mute, please. Just call in, put your phone on mute. But the Most High will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. Watch what he say. Watch this. So shall ye know that I am the Most High your Elohim, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. Then shall Jerusalem be holy, and there shall no strangers pass through her anymore. Ain't gonna be none of that no more. You ain't got to worry about Sister Tabar. You ain't got to worry about no more of that. That's over. Ain't gonna be no more identity theft. Ain't gonna be no more of that. That's over with.
I got a question. I was wondering when it says, bring the Gentiles down, ready to fight. So what about that section where it talks about the strangers are coming with us? And so I don't know if they're talking about Gentiles or are they talking about something else?
Well, guess what? A lot of people don't believe the Gentiles are going to be saved. Some of them are going to be sold into slavery. Some of them will be there as strangers. I think so. Some people don't think so. I mean, it could be. We'll have to see.
Well, could it possibly be? Because during the time of when we came out of Egypt, there was a mixed multitude. The Gentiles were not there at that particular time. It was our relatives. You understand? Though remember, and it was because we cohabitated with those. Those were part of the mixed multitude. So I would think that it would be those people that were living in that region at that particular time. You understand? I would think. Now, this is just me thinking. Again. You understand? That is just talking about our relatives, those Ishmael and all of the Hebrews that were not chosen to be the children of Israel, but they were our relatives. That's what I would think. That's just my thinking.
Go back to Leviticus, and it's three different strangers. You got the stranger like
Right.
You have the stranger that can come in, but he only can come in to so you was talking about the inside the temple. They can only go so far, but they have embraced Yah, and they embrace His law, statutes, and judgment. But you also have a stranger, which is a Hebrew, that have all the rights.
That is correct.
So he said that remember that law of the stranger, because you was a stranger one time in Egypt.
That's true.
Right.
That is true. I mean, we have to see, because, I mean, I agree with them, and there's also places in the Scripture that talks about the Gentiles will come up and the Gentiles will bring our children under their arm and on their shoulders. So we'll have to see. We're going to do a study on that to see what the Bible says about the actual Gentile in the last days and how will some of them survive. Because some of them will survive and some of them will come. You know, because they have to play another role when they do come. They won't be on top, though. That's going to be over with. When he do all this, that's over. And I think that that's the biggest fear for them is nobody wants to accept defeat. You know, and when he comes, he's going to, like I said, he's going to rearrange the cast. We just read that. He said, I'm going to sell your daughters to Yehudah, and they're going to sell them to the Sabians. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a rearrangement of the cast of the play itself to the point where it's going to play out the way he wants it to, and that our sentence will be over with. But nobody wants to say that because who wants to know that they're going to be sold into slavery?
Right.
Ain't that kind of ironic?
Go ahead.
Ain't that kind of ironic? Saying they identified who the Sabians was, and so that's the Sabians that wrote the letter to the pastors.
That's what I'm talking about. You better say that again. That's what I'm talking about. So all of it is playing into y'all. You get ready to get me started. I'm trying to be cool. But, yes, all that's playing into y'all's program because we got to go back to the land of Saudi Arabia to be able to be near Sinai. There's no other way to get there. That's their land right now, and it's fenced off. So if they know who we are, that's what they do also know. They know the prophecy, too.
Right.
Yes, they do.
Wasn't the Most High going to take the Arabs out also?
Say that again, sis. I didn't hear you. What you say?
Well, I thought the Most High was going to take the Arab people out also, but I guess not, since he says you're going to sell those into the...
right. Some of them, all the nations won't be destroyed. There will be some nations going on in that time period where they are going to succumb to the government of Yah and do what he says. Because remember, he said when those nations come up, and they'll have free choice. When those nations come up, they're going to be required to keep the Feast of Tabernacle, and if they don't, they're not going to get no rain.
Right.
They crops ain't going to go on like it is. You know, everybody think when y'all come, he's just going to destroy the whole world. No, we're not talking about when the Father comes. That's something totally different. This world will continue on, and there will be leaders of different nations. They're just going to come up to the one world government of Yah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's only two races of people we're going to cut off. That's the Edomites and the Canaanites.
You know?
Right.
So those are the things that we have to understand that it's going to continue to do what it's going to do, and everybody has to play their role. All right, we're almost finished. I want to get past this, then we'll open up the mic. So we go in Revelation chapter 16, verse 14 through 20. It says, "For they are spirits of devils, working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to battle of that great day of Yah Almighty." Watch. "Behold, I come as a thief." Ain't nobody gonna know he coming. "Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together in a place called in Hebrew tongue Armageddon. And the seventh angel poured out his veil into the air, and there came a great voice out of the temple of heaven." So there's a temple up in the kingdom from the throne saying, "It is done." He said, "Okay, it's over. Let's wrap this up. It's a wrap. Watch. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not seen since men were upon the earth. So mighty an earthquake and so great." Hold on just a minute. Let me get back here. He said, "And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of nations fell, and great Babylon came into remembrance." Now, this is what John is saying. He said, "Before Yah to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath." So John saw all of this. He said, and every island fled away, and the mountains were not found. He said, and there fell upon men a great hail out of heaven, every stone about the weight of a talent. And men blasphemed Yah because of the plague of hail, for the plague thereof was exceedingly great. Any questions? We on our last one, and then we're going to wrap this up and be able to move to the next level. All right, here we go. Then we're going to go to Revelations 19, 11 through 21, and this should be our last one. He says, verse 11, he said, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. In righteousness he doeth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yah. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. It's what John saw. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness wrath of Almighty Yah. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great Yah, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both great and small. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that received the mark of the beast. Watch. And them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. And the remnant were slain. So the people with the mark were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. And that's it. Anybody have any questions at all?
On that remnant, on verse 21, the remnant, that would be some of us, the Hebrews that...
No, the remnant was slain. That's all the people that was left. They had the mark of the beast and the people.
Okay.
He killed the kings first. He killed the beast first and the false prophet. And then he killed the kings and all of them because all these people had taken the mark of the beast.
Right.
Right. I just thought maybe it was some of us. I'm sure it is included.
Yeah, if they take the mark, yeah, they through. I mean, yeah. It's a wrap. If you put that chip in your skin, it is a wrap. It's pretty much over with. So we know that this invasion is going to be tough. You know, are the kings the presidents? Yes, sir. That's all of them. All them that rule, that have been a part of this system, that put this stuff together and doing the things that they're doing, yes, this is all a part of that same system. All the one world government, the Illuminati, all that. They do not serve Yah. They do not believe in him. They are what? The synagogue of who?
Satan.
Satan. So all that's a part of it. Any questions? Let me cut the recording off right now. We thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope that we see you guys tomorrow on our Blog Talk Radio show, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My phone number is 718-664-9551. We hope to see you there, and we thank you for joining us for the class.